This is part 2 of my fully autonomous AI trading agent. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, definitely go check that out first. Also, stick around till the end of this video because I'm going to share a couple of bonus tips that can honestly save you from blowing up your account if you're building something like this.
Alright, so let me show you something interesting. What you're looking at here is yesterday's Claude code session where the agent was running. I have set the permissions such that it does not need to ask me before taking a trade. The agent basically logs everything it does. So if you scroll through this, you can see things like how many trades it took, how many the winners, the losers, and the total P&L for the day. The interesting part is I didn't take a single trade manually. The agent connects to the live market, checks whether my strategy conditions are met, and then it just executes the trades on its own. And it does that every day during like a particular window of the market hours.
Let's dive right into how do you actually set something like this up. Whether it's a trading agent or honestly any kind of agentic workflows, there are basically 3 things that you need. Technically there's a 4th as well, but we'll keep that for another video. So the first thing, the agent needs the ability to actually act. In trading, that simply means placing trades on your behalf. The AI needs some programmatic way to interact with your broker, and that's usually through broker APIs or MCP servers. Every broker is a little different here, so you'll have to check what integration they support. I have put the broker I personally use in the description if you're curious. Second thing, the agent needs tools. Without tools, the AI is basically blind. So for a trading agent, that could be things like being able to fetch live market prices, select the right option contracts if you trade options, run scripts to calculate like the technical indicators and things like those. You can also give it broader market context, things like the breaking market news or economic data releases, Fed speeches, geopolitical events, basically anything that could potentially move the market. There is a Middle Eastern conflict going on right now, so that might heavily impact the markets. The third thing, the agent needs to know what it's actually supposed to do. And this is where everything ties in together, and you have to be very specific and careful about the instructions you give the agent because those are really important. Now, there are a few different ways people do this depending on their own setup. If you are using closed models like Claude or ChatGPT, most of the time this is done through prompting. Sometimes you combine it with the RAG where the agent can reference your strategy, docs, or some custom data. If you're running open source models, you can go even further and train the model specifically for trading. But if you're just starting to build out agentic systems, I would advise you to keep things pretty simple and everything prompt or skill based. So inside the prompt, you would define things like the trading strategy, the entry conditions, the exit rules, profit targets, stop losses, and very importantly, guardrails. These are things like how many trades the agent is allowed to take in a day, what's the maximum position size should be, when it should just stop trading completely, because at the end of the day you are letting an AI touch real money, so these boundaries need to be very clearly defined. All right, as promised, bonus tip number 1, and this one is really important. Always start with a paper trading account. Let the agent run on a paper trading account for a while, not just a few days. Let it run for like weeks or maybe months. Only when you're confident it behaves exactly the way you expect it to, then connect and give it a live account. Bonus tip number 2, treat it like a production system if you're connecting to a live account, not like a just a thing that just goes on every day. Ask yourself things like, what happens if the agent opens a position and suddenly your server crashes or the internet is out? What happens in those scenarios? Who's monitoring those trades if you are not available? The way I solved this by running a separate monitoring script that runs in the cloud. That script constantly checks for things like my account balance, the number of open positions, the number of trades, the agent took, the position size limits, basically all of my rules. It continuously monitors those, and if something looks wrong, it has the ability to close some of those positions or send me an alert on Discord or Slack. So there's always a fail-safe layer watching the account. If you're building agentic systems yourself, I'm actually curious, what do you think about trading as an AI agent use case? Let me know in the comments. And if you have questions about my setup, tools, or strategy, drop those below as well. I'll be making more videos on how I use AI agents in my daily workflow and other projects. So if that interests you, follow along.